how to visualize your future self. So, in this episode, I'm going to be talking about how to visualize the future you and how to act on that. So, let's start with a simple question. Have you ever stopped to think about the person you want to be in 5 or 10 years? And I mean, like, really sit down, try to see what is this person doing, how do they think, how do they approach life. I have been doing this every month for I think the last 2 years, and I try to do it around the third or somewhere there. And I want to sell you into trying it, in envisioning who you want to be, who you can be, who you are currently en route to being. And it's powerful how much clarity you get through consistent application of this exercise, and not just for your career or lifestyle, but for who you are, your habits, your mindset, your relationships. So that is the future self that we want to talk about, and the one that you should be visualizing. So let's get right into this episode. The first thing about visualizing your future self is that it isn't just daydreaming. It's a tool that is going to help you in setting that direction so that it can guide the actions that you take from today onwards. When I picture myself, for example, I see someone who has grown this podcast into the biggest in Uganda. It has expanded across Africa. It is inspiring thousands to own their 5 to 9. I see someone who has built businesses that do more than just serve their clients or just pay their staff. It is a family, companies that touch lives, that shape every fabric of what we are, or what we have constrained ourselves to for the past 100 years. Also, anyway, after slavery for Africa, a family of my own, my friends, my health, my finances, my visions, my dreams, all that, as delusional as it may sound, especially on that company part. But that is the me that I envision. And these visions only work if I ask myself, what can I do today to make it real? What can I do this week, this month, this year? What can I do to achieve this X that I want to do in 5 years? What am I not doing now to achieve that? You get it? What are the things that I need to work on to achieve that? What are the things that I need to stop doing in order to achieve that? That all comes after I have actually visualized and I have a solid concrete, I should say, picture of that person. So the first step is visualizing that person, actually sitting down and writing down, this person is, let me say 5 years from now. So 5 years, I'll be 20, 29, give or take. Okay, let's just use 30. So 5 years from now or more, I'll be 30. At 30, what kind of version of me do I want to be? For myself, I want to be this. I want to be earning this. I want to have a family with X number of kids. I want to have a wife who is doing this, and I am this kind of person in my marriage. I am this kind of brother to my siblings. I am this kind of son to my mother and father. I am this kind of friend to my friends. Yeah. I am at this stage of health. Let me say I am exercising this much. My finances, I have this much in the account. I have this much saved. I have these investments running in the business. I have achieved this, that. All those is just trying to build that vision. And trust me when I say that the vision changes over time. A lot of the visions that I had from last year in June. Okay, the first year that I did this was 2023 June. Yes, just immediately I finished campus. That was the first time I did, around 11th. So I pushed it back to third just because after a year, the next year in 2024, I did that on third, and I was reviewing the whole year backwards. And it was just powerful how much I was able to see and what I was able to change. And I just committed to doing that every year. So come this year on the 3rd of June, between 3rd and 11th June, I will again sit down and review, almost like a financial year, but 2024, 2025, and then plan for 2025, 2026. So that is the whole exercise that I'm talking about. You visualize yourself and then you set these parameters. What can I do today? What can I do this week? What can I do this month? And it all comes from you sitting down each month to sort of plan that out. So the exercise that I do is every month I sit down around first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So that is to plan for the next month and to review the past month. And then in the year, I sit down in June between 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th to think about the previous year and then plan for the next year. You get it? So it's sort of this whole, I don't want to say holistic exercise, you know, but for me, it means that I have consistent effort towards my goals. I am planning what kind of moves I am going to make. I am learning from others, from my own mistakes. I am building relationships. I'm testing and trying out. I am failing. I am admitting when I'm wrong. I'm building resolve, self appreciation, positive self direction. I'm having all this wonderful blend of humanity and self accomplishment that is just helping me to become better each and every month, that I believe all of us can get value from if we're just doing that. So it's a very hard task just because it requires that consistency. I mean, even with me, there are times when why I am using a range of dates is because it's hard for me to get exactly right that on the 11th every June, I'll do that. Or on the 3rd of every month, I'll do that. Trust me, it is very, very hard. Okay? I mean, 3rd could fall on a Monday when I am busy. 3rd could fall on a day when I've lost someone. I'm not going to do that. But when you give it a range and you make sure that yes, you have given yourself leeway, but you don't give yourself much of a range, please. Just try not to overexpand that time frame because now, like for the yearly review, it takes more than at least 2 or 3 days. You get it? So that's why the days are more, but do not underplay how much discipline you need. You actually need to commit to it and commit to doing it every month and then every year. Like it's something that needs discipline, but trust me that the rewards from it are very, very, very rewarding. There is just this whole vision of you that you develop that no one else can take away from you. And I'm just trying to break it down to help those just because of that discipline thing. So take 5 minutes today to visualize your future self right now or today. Whenever you have time, just take away 5 minutes to visualize yourself. What does your life look like? How do you feel? Then ask yourself, what is the one action I can take right now to move me closer to that vision? And then every time you do this, every time you take away those 5 minutes, you add something to this same list, however often you do this, and then within 3 months you have a list of these actions that you should be doing on a daily, on a weekly, that you have actually reflected on and you agree with. You have a concrete list that you can act on. You have more of a to-do list. Let me say it becomes almost like a to-do list, actually, you guys, because my list for last month guides the one for this month, and then I take out the ones that I've experimented on, and I know, okay, you know what, this doesn't work. So let's just make it real. Write to yourself, commit, and make sure that yourself a year from now is grateful for what you are going to do. In fact, actually, to make it more real, you can write a letter to your future self 1 year from now. Describe what you hope to have accomplished. Write down those the actions from that list. You get it? Write down what you hope to have accomplished, how you want to feel, and what steps you have taken and are going to take. Keep that letter somewhere safe, and then revisit it a year from now and read it. It's going to help you. I have told you, I first did this exercise in 2023, although it wasn't later. It was more of like 7-8 pages of journal entries during that reflection time. And at the time when I was leaving campus, the whole thing was that, I'm going out into the world. My dad had already had the talk with me that, you know what, once you graduate, some benefits are not going to be continuing. So I had this reality that was setting in that I needed to be prepared for. And that's where the tradition literally started from. And then last year, it just happened to be coincidentally that I was going through a rough patch during that time. And I don't want it to be the same thing this year, although, yeah, I wouldn't mind to be going through a rough patch. I mean, I have survived all the others, so I am very sure I'll survive this next one. But the point is that I rushed myself in 2024. And while I was reading back to the 2023 version me, I felt very proud of that version of me and proud of me in that time. And then, you guys, what hit me was how short that time seemed. You guys, I looked at 2023 when I was in 2024 and I was like, wow, it's been a year. Wow. I mean, your life could pass you by and you would literally not know how you spent it. So, I mean, that was another thing that put it into perspective, but this is just advice. And here is the real challenge anyway, so that I don't keep lecturing you. This is supposed to be a short 7-minute episode. Just go ahead and share the one thing that you are visualizing in your comments or with me. If you want an accountability partner, make sure that you are doing something close to this. You don't need to follow my exact schedule, but trust me, it does help. I hope you take it into heart. If you think this is valuable, please share it with someone else so that they can also get onto the train of self-accountability and visualizing the kind of person that they want to be. Otherwise, from the team at the 5 to 9 job, I'll see you in the next episode. I'm Raymond. Bye-bye.